CJ Flyer back with the fire, another YouTube video. So the Lakers yet again failed to make it anywhere in this year's NBA playoffs, losing to the Denver Nuggets in a gentleman's sweep, 5 games. Anthony Davis, of course, was huge for the Lakers in that series, the only one really able to contain Jokic, and he was expected to do it on both ends of the floor, offense and defense, and contribute and carry this team. Obviously, LeBron helped, getting some nice numbers, averaging scoring in the upper 20s here with a couple 30-point games and a near triple-double in Game 5. But outside of LeBron and AD, this team has not been so hot. You look at D'Angelo Russell, he was awful. I mean, completely awful in these playoffs. Look at this 0 of 7 game in Game 3 here. His shooting percentages were abysmal. His decision making was bad. You look at Rui Hachimura as well. He had a couple okay scoring games, but really this team is just not very efficient outside of LeBron and AD. That being said, going into next season, LeBron James, he's got a player option and no one's really sure what he's going to do. Is he going to decline that player option? Is he going to lock in with the Lakers and play one more season with them? Is Bronny James going to get drafted? Is LeBron going to try to join the team that Bronny James is going to play on? So we're going to rebuild the Lakers with the assumption that LeBron does not want to return to the Lakers and move on from there and see if we can get the Lakers to become a championship contender once again without LeBron James. Simulating the playoffs, and oh my goodness, I am really surprised in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kudos to them for taking out the Celtics in 6 games, but they end up losing in the finals to the Denver Nuggets. Jokic and the Nuggets back-to-back championships. And look, LeBron's trying to retire here. We're not going to let that happen. He's still going to be in the league. We're just not going to let him retire. So we're going to skip past the draft lottery now. Staff signing, of course, as we all know, it was just announced. Darvin Ham and the entire coaching staff was let go. So to follow suit, we're going to go ahead and just fire everyone here. Every single position just off the table. You're gone. We're gonna bring in new people. Okay, brand new coaching staff. We filled every position. We brought in the fictional Mike Stauffer guy. Look, I know he's not a real coach, but they don't even have the real coaches in the game. They don't have Bud available. They don't have Frank Vogel available. I mean, what are we doing here, 2K? Simulating through the draft, we're not gonna sign our only draft pick, which was way late in the 2nd round. Not worth it. Go to the team player options, and again, as expected, LeBron declines his player option. D'Angelo Russell also declining his player option, which I'm not sure would happen in real life. I feel like he's going to lock in. I don't think he feels like he's worth more than the player option, but I could be wrong. You never know with some of these guys. So yeah, D'Lo's going to, test out the free agent market. We're going to look at some of the other players that declined. Of course, Paul George has declined his player option. Drew Holiday's declined his. And OG's available on the free agent market as well. So breaking down the current salary cap situation, it would be none other than ideal to bring back LeBron and D'Lo and do a sign and trade of sorts. Sign them and trade them for some other players, because our salary cap situation, I mean, it's absolutely insane. Actually, let me go ahead and check to see if we have any cap holds right now. And yeah, it looks like for both LeBron and D'Lo, we still have the cap holds. So obviously Paul George, a big name in Los Angeles, does love to go for big names for their teams. However, we just saw his performance against the Mavs. He did have a really great Game 4 in Dallas, but outside of that, I mean, he had some all right games. If we go ahead and look at his recent games, between the 7-point game in Game 3, which yes, he was in foul trouble, not so great, but also the Game 5 and the Game 6, not even cracking 20 points. Playing 42 minutes. I mean, that's not something you want to see from a star player. He is aging. It looks like he might be starting to decline. Obviously, he's had some past injury issues. So yeah, we're not going to go for Paul George. We are going to commit to the sign and trade deals. So it looks like D'Lo, he wanted, it was like 4 years, 20-something million a year. So we offered that to him. LeBron, 1 year, 50 million. So they have agreed in principle to take on those deals. We'll go ahead and get through the moratorium period. And there you go. They're back on the team. So now we will start to look for trade offers for them, since 2K doesn't quite have an actual sign and trade type of functionality in their My NBA mode. So we're going to go to the trade finder just to start looking at the options here, see what kind of offers come up for LeBron. And right off the bat, the Sixers are offering Tyrese Maxey and Paul Reed for LeBron, which, Maxey just signed this new extension. It looks like the Sixers went ahead and picked him back up for $34 million per year for 3 years. And some of these offers are just not realistic at all. Like, I know I know Tyler Hero has kind of been in trade rumors for the past few years now, but him and Bam Adebayo packaged together for one more year of LeBron, I don't know why Miami would do that. This feels like a very Charlotte move to do. Like, I could see Charlotte ruining their entire future to trade LaMelo for LeBron. Zion, who has yet to even play a playoff game in his career despite his team making the playoffs multiple times. That's not going to be happening. I mean, look, so what, LeBron for a 24-year-old Zion Williamson? Obviously, there's potential. But I don't think the fit is very good with Anthony Davis. You need to space the floor. Now, as I mentioned earlier, perhaps we do a sign and trade and get LeBron on the team that his son Bronny plays for if Bronny gets drafted. And sure enough, Bronny did get drafted in the very last pick of the draft, round 2, pick 30. But it looks like he did not get signed and is currently a free agent. So at this point, it's really just fair game as far as, you know, where we would like to send LeBron and what package is available that we'd like to send him to. So I'm just talking through this right now. As you can see, these different packages. Obviously, this one for Karl-Anthony Towns and Naz Reid looks really nice. But again, we are trying to keep Anthony Davis, and pairing these three, I don't. Obviously, we'd have Naz Reid coming off the bench. We have Karl-Anthony Towns as the power forward and put AD at the center position. So we have two bigs that can stretch the floor. But what this team really needs is a primary ball handler, because we're also going to be trading away D'Lo. And actually, I'm curious to see if we package these two together, what kind of offers come up in the trade finder. And oh my goodness, Tyrese Halliburton. Now, this doesn't seem like something the Pacers would do in real life. I feel like the Pacers very much have that, like homegrown mentality, if you will, where they try to build their stars up from within. Although they did trade for Tyrese, traded Sabonis for Tyrese, trade with the Kings a couple years ago. So I say that, but I mean, who's to say that the Pacers wouldn't try to do this? Because, you already got a lot of hype surrounding the city, just drafting Caitlin Clark to the Indiana Fever for the WNBA. Now you bring in LeBron James. I mean, think about all the press, all the media, the hype around Indianapolis. The other trade offer we got is with the Pistons. It's not as attractive of an offer, of course. It's Cade Cunningham and Ausar Thompson. This is not like a win-now move. Whereas if you get Tyrese Halliburton, you got AD at the 4, Miles Turner at the 5. I mean, that's one of the that is a pair of bigs that could compete with Minnesota's combination of Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid. So we're going to go ahead and take the trade. We're taking the trade. It's here. This draft pick, Jalen Hood, Schifino, picked last year, pick 17. Didn't get a chance to play a whole lot, 5 minutes per game, shooting 20% from the field, 13% from 3 as a guard. Yeah, I mean, that's not very great. So I don't feel like we're missing out on much trading him away. And yes, we'll go ahead and do that deal. So now on contract, we have Anthony Davis, Tyrese Halliburton, and Miles Turner. Austin Reeves, of course, recently got signed to that extension of his as well. And then we still have Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, who got signed last year to a 3-year deal, and Maxwell Lewis. So we're pretty set in the guard position. As far as the wings go, we could use a little bit more depth. And then obviously we're good at the center power forward position. So wings are really what we need to look for right now to fill out this roster. Additionally, we could use one more big in the rotation since AD will be starting at the power forward position. We could use some sort of a backup center. And now looking at the cap holds that we have, obviously a ton of guys here. Got Wood, Dinwiddie, Jackson Hayes, Christie, Reddish. I mean, it's a ton of guys that at the moment, maybe we bring Dinwiddie back, but outside, and maybe Cam Reddish for the defense. But outside of that, not really excited about bringing a lot of these young players back into the mix. So I see Andre Drummond is available. He would be a pretty good backup big, but I'm not sure we can really compete with those offers on the table. We're going to try for a 2-year contract since it seems like he prefers the 2-year over the 3 if you go ahead and take a look here. And yeah, when we put in 2, his interest goes up. We're just trying our best. Yeah, he's declined the offer. Okay. Javonte Green, he had a career year with the Chicago Bulls last season, 12 points per game, 7 rebounds, shooting 60% from the field, and averaging 25 minutes per game, so he could be a solid rotation guy for this team if needed. And then Luke Kennard, of course, he is a perimeter threat. He can shoot the ball. Look at that 3-point percentage, always around 45% for the past 4 seasons. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like we actually have enough room to sign Javonte Green. So we're going to try to offer him a new contract. see if we can get it to work. And nope, he doesn't want that. All right, we will have to wait later if we want to try to sign him. Something else I'd like to try before we, give up on trying to get Javonte Green off the free agent market is to trade Rui Hachimura. He did have a really great season with the Lakers. He shot over 50% from the field, 42% from three, getting some solid minutes. And as much as I'd like to keep him, I'd be interested to see if selling high would be a good option there. So let's just see what, get a feel for what teams are looking to trade for Rui Hachimura. And so far, I mean, Jaime Jaquez Jr. would not be bad, of course, including Luke Kennard in the mix. I don't really want to do that. Keegan Murray, of course, another great young player. Overall, though, I gotta say, not too impressed with these offers. We could also do a trade here for Keldon Johnson and a first-round pick. But to be honest, not really too excited. So, for the most part, I think we like what we got going here. None of these other trades, I mean, the Jaime Jaquez Jr. one's interesting because we know in 2K he does tend to progress pretty high. Same with Keegan Murray, but I kind of like what we got here as far as fit with these two guys. One guy that I almost forgot to trade, actually, Gabe Vincent. My goodness, do we even need to discuss this? 20 minutes per game, and I mean, do we even need to talk about this? Do we really need to talk about this number? This 10% from three. I mean, look, we all know what we saw from Gabe Vincent in the 2023 NBA playoffs, and we didn't see any of that with the Lakers. So, right off the bat, this deal would be good. Terrence Mann, he was one of the few Clippers in that series versus the Mavs this year that I was like, this guy's good. He's a great defender. He's able to fit in the... He looks like he actually cares on the basketball court, for one, unlike some of the older guys on that team. And then there's also this trade here, Gabe Vincent and Maxwell Lewis for Dorian Finney-Smith. And if we look at his stats, how did he do with Brooklyn? I have really not been keeping tabs on him ever since he got traded from Dallas to the Nets. It looks like he's still shooting roughly the same that he was shooting before. It looks like a lot of his numbers pretty similar to what he was doing in Dallas. But man, get me Terrence Mann. I love this trade. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to trade Gabe Vincent for Terrence Mann. I think that's just a much better player in general. So doing a one-on-one trade there, I like that. Okay, signings are finally finished. We ended up adding quite a few new players off the free agent market. Of course, most of them probably won't crack the rotation, at least not a whole lot. We brought in Joe Harris, we brought in Doug McDermott, Joe Ingles, Marcus Morris, Tristan Thompson. A lot of these forwards, again, guys that can help stretch the floor and help with the defensive end as well if needed. Obviously, we know Joe Ingles he was known as quite the enforcer when he was playing for the Jazz, and he's been great for the Orlando Magic. And of course, Marcus Morris, we know that he can be a tough defensive battle as well. Tristan Thompson, he's got that championship experience. Luke Kennard can help stretch the floor. Terrence Mann, again, he plays some great defense. He was playing great defense on Luka in a couple of those games in the series against the Mavs in the 2024 NBA playoffs. Jordan McLaughlin, he's his upper 20s. We just needed a point guard to back up Tyrese Halliburton. That's the main reason we signed him. We couldn't afford anyone else, so we brought Jordan McLaughlin on board from Minnesota. We're going to start off the season running a 9-man rotation here with Tyrese at the 1, Austin Reeves at the 2, Rui Hachimura at the 3, Anthony Davis at the 4, and Miles Turner at the 5, with Jared Vanderbilt running for 6th Man of the Year contention here. Coming off the bench with 27 minutes per game, Terrence Mann and Luke Kennard. And then also Jordan McLaughlin getting some minutes at that point guard position. Of course, we still got some of these older, veteran players, Tristan Thompson, Joe Harris, Doug McDermott, Marcus Morris, and then Joe Ingles in the reserves. So there is going to be an opportunity later in the season, I'm sure, as players get injured, for some of those older veterans to fill in as needed. Okay, we've started the season, and so far, not good, not bad. It's an okay start, 12 wins, 11 losses. You look at the roster right now, Tyrese is injured for a few weeks with a strained MCL. So of course, having our, one of our best players on the team out hasn't been so great either. That being said, Rui Hachimura is having a career year. He's getting 16 points per game, and his shooting percentages are pretty nice from deep. On the flip side, we got some guys here, Jared Vanderbilt being one of them. You look at this, he's a guy that, you don't really rely on him for threes, but you do expect him to somewhat be able to stretch the floor. He's getting some great rebound numbers. but his field goal percentage in general is just down. You look at the previous years, it's anywhere from 50 to 60%. And I mean, he's just ice cold 20-some games into the season. 40% from the field. It's not a good look. And then if we look at Terrence Mann, who I was just giving praise on being one of the better Clipper players, or at least more engaged players in that playoff series versus the Mavs, yeah, pretty bad shooting percentages. He's getting more minutes. Well, I guess about as many minutes as he got in the last 2 years. But yeah, I mean, just looking at these stats, not anything exciting, not great, and probably why we've lost some games. Obviously, we've had to rely more on these guys with Tyrese Halliburton out. But that being said, you know, this being the Lakers franchise, patience is not a virtue with the Lakers. We got to win now, so we're going into the trade finder right away, making some trades. And since Rui is starting to have a career year, as you can see already from this first trade offer from the Bucks, I mean, we're getting some good offers. We're getting some solid players being offered in return, very different from the offseason. So there's 2 offers I've seen that I've been interested in, one of them being this Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter for Rui Hachimura and Terrence Mann. Like I said, you know, Terrence Mann hasn't been so hot for us. So Keegan Murray, he's having a really great year. As you can see, shooting 42% from 3. And he's doing this with starter level minutes, playing 30 minutes per game. Kevin Huerter, he's also having a solid year, you know, not great, but not bad 3-point percentage. Then again, we're comparing this to Terrence Mann, who's just been absolutely abysmal. Yeah, you know, and then Rui Hachimura, like, he's been solid. He's been good. And again, we're trying to sell high on him right now. Since we're getting some good offers in return. Now, another trade I've been considering here is this one from the Knicks. This is Rui Hachimura and Jared Vanderbilt for Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. Now, Josh Hart, I know if he came back to the Lakers in real life, he'd instantly be a fan favorite. I mean, absolutely amazing. He's averaging 12 rebounds per game right now, you know, 20-some games into the season for the Knicks. And shooting percentages, not too shabby. And then with Mitchell Robinson, he's averaging a double-double. He's getting a steal and 2 blocks per game, and we don't really need him to get threes. So besides that offer, a lot of these other ones I'm not too excited about. None of, you know, why would we want Marvin Bagley and the draft pick? You know, it's nothing that's gonna get us over the hump anytime soon. So these are the 2 trades that we're looking at. If we do one of these, you know, when I mentioned Jared Vanderbilt and Terrence Mann, we're going to be looking at trading both of those guys here. So long term and financially, I would say this Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter combo is much better than the Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson combo. Just from the standpoint, I mean, you look, Keegan Murray, he's got a team option after this $8 million. We go ahead and look at that. Yeah, there you go. Team option for $11 million for the next season. And then we got Kevin Huerter with his 16, 17 this year, going into 18 next year. And you compare that to Josh Hart, who just got a huge contract. He's going to get paid 20-some per year. We got Mitchell Robinson getting paid some solid money. So I don't know. It's a toss-up. Taking one more look at the roster before we make a deal here, just to look at what this team has. Again, we have Miles Turner and Tristan Thompson at the 5. Anthony Davis, I swapped his primary and secondary position, so his primary is now a power forward. He's in at the 4. We got Jared Vanderbilt at the 4 as well. Marcus Morris, who's not getting any playing time. And we got Rui Hachimura and a bunch of veteran forwards behind him, and as well as Maxwell Lewis, who's not getting any playing time. And then at the 2 guard, we got Austin Reeves. He's probably he's filling in at the 1 right now with Halliburton injured. But normally he'd be playing starting at the 2. We got Terrence Mann at the 2, and we got Luke Kennard, who is getting some playing time, but not a whole lot. So again, if we bring Kevin Huerter in, Kevin Huerter he might not even get any playing time, sadly. Oh goodness, and then I didn't even look at Miles Turner. Look at some of Turner's recent games. 1 of 11, 1 of 14. You're a center. Why is he shooting that many threes? Oh my goodness. 1 of 7 from 3, 1 of 8 from 3. No, you should not be shooting that many threes in a game. Okay, we're committing to the pick that's a fan favorite. We're bringing Josh Hart back to the Lakers. And then we're going to look for some deals for Terrence Mann. And man, wouldn't this deal be something? Bringing in the backup to Tyrese Halliburton on the Pacers currently in real life. We get TJ McConnell, who currently for the Pacers in the simulation, I mean, look at that shooting percentage, 3-point percentage, 47%. He's got the 6 assists, he's got the steals, and then all of a sudden our roster is stacked with guys that are great on the defensive end, great on the boards. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and make this trade as well. We don't really care about that second round draft pick. And we can't see the current rotation at present just because, you know, Tyrese Haliburton is injured. When he's back, he'll fill in for TJ at the 1. We got Luke Kennard. Well, really, we should. Why is Austin Reeves not starting? We'd put Austin Reeves in at the 2. We got Josh Hart at the 3, Anthony Davis at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5. We got Miles Turner coming off the bench. So we are not short of rebounding at all. Plenty of rebounding, plenty of defense, and we got some shooters coming off the bench. TJ McConnell, so far since joining the Lakers, he's been a huge upgrade, getting lots of assists and steals off the bench. He's willing to re-sign to an extension, so we'll go ahead and offer that to him. And it seems it was actually a great move going for Mitchell Robinson, because it looks like Miles Turner is now out with a broken ankle for a couple months. So we're good with depth at the center position, able to fill right in, no issues at all, and we have plenty of wings off the bench. And we got Tristan Thompson. Yeah, we're good. We're good at the bigs position, so even with Miles Turner out, shouldn't be an issue. Luka wins the MVP, averaging a triple-double on the season. Alexander Sarr getting Rookie of the Year with the Charlotte Hornets, also getting 6th Man of the Year for them. Wemby getting Defensive Player of the Year. Ausar Thompson, Most Improved. De'Aaron Fox, the clutch player, and the Thunder are the #1 seed in the West, so they're going to get both Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. However, let's start ahead and look at some of these awards. Did any Lakers get in here? Yes. Anthony Davis, All-NBA Second Team. And then Tyrese Haliburton, All-NBA Third Team. LeBron James also getting All-NBA Third Team for the Indiana Pacers. Also getting defensive recognitions, All-Defensive First Team for Anthony Davis. And as it turns out, those trades we made early on in the season ended up really saving the season. Look, we went from being a team that was, you know, same number of wins and losses to start the season, 20 games in. And look at this, 55 wins, 2 games back of the Thunder. Really great finish to the season. The Grizzlies and the Nuggets also in the top 4 seeds in the West. Over on the East, LeBron and the Pacers getting to the play-in at the 9 seed with more losses than wins. Not what you want to see from them. Okay, some of these stats are going to be a little bit skewed only because we traded for some of these players, you know, partway through the season. But Tyrese Haliburton was the leading scorer for this Lakers team with 25 points per game. He got 9 assists, 1.5 steals, and shooting 50% from the field, 44% from 3. Very nice. Anthony Davis averaging the double-double with 2 blocks. Miles Turner with the 2 blocks. Mitchell Robinson with the 2 blocks. Josh Hart with the near double-double, getting 9.5 points per game and 10 rebounds. So, you know, great looking out with this team. Some of the shooting not so hot. You know, Anthony Davis not shooting great from 3. A couple other players like Josh Hart, not the best 3-point shooter. TJ McConnell, he's okay. You know, so not the best 3-point shooting, but really getting it done on the boards and with the defense. The steals and blocks numbers especially are just looking outstanding. And that was good enough to get get the Lakers, I should say, into the 2nd seed. And let's go ahead and see. Okay, we're matched up against the Warriors in round 1, and the Warriors in this simulation. Let's see what team they have here. They still got their guys. They still got Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Kuminga, Trace Jackson Davis. They got Draymond coming off the bench now. Chris Paul coming off the bench now. But other than some rookies and some young guys, I mean, it is the same exact team. Pretty interesting to see that they did not decide to change things up in the offseason. And I don't know what the coach is doing with the rotations, but I'm just letting it be because, you know, who am I to say that Joe Ingles is not the right decision to start at the 3? I mean, he is an enforcer. He is a defensive presence. He can provide you that spark in the playoffs. He's a very physical player. So who am I to make that judgment call to have Josh Hart coming off the bench? You know what? We're just going to let it be. We're going to let Coach do what he wants to do, and the Warriors win game 1. Maybe I should have made the decisions. We still got Joe Ingles starting for some reason. Why is Josh Hart not starting? Let's see what Joe Ingles has even done in these games. 0 of 5 from the field? Why is Joe Ingles starting? Okay, we're going to an 8-man rotation. I'm going to reset these rotations here. No, Joe Ingles, you are not going to be getting playing time. In fact, we're going to be giving those minutes to Luke Kennard, who's been great this season. We're going to put Josh Hart starting, and let's see how that goes. Let's go ahead and simulate this one, and oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding. To come back and to get a 55-win season, and we're going to lose to the Warriors? We're going to get swept even? We're going to get swept. No way. Curry's doing his thing. He's got 36 points here in this game. We lost this game by 3 points, man. Come on. Anthony Davis, not the best shooting. He did, do well on the boards. Josh Hart doing well on the boards. Tyrese had a great game. I mean, it's, this feels like a game that just got thrown away. But here we are, going to game 4. We won game 4. Let's go into game 5. Right off the bat, the Warriors are getting a lead, but it is really close. Starting to pull away now. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're up 20. Easy win here. All right, going into game 6 now. Come on, let's get it done. Getting a lead early on again, double digits. Maybe the Simcast is doing wonders for us. Uh-oh, it is getting kind of close. Still pulling out the win. We're going into a game 7 now. This one, of course, at home in Los Angeles. It would be absolutely embarrassing to lose this one. But look, we're going to be the first team to come back. Oh, hold on. I don't want to speak too soon. I don't want to speak too soon. Oh, geez. This is not good. Okay, jumping into the game now. I have it set to superstar difficulty, so we'll see how this goes. We have a 1-point lead with 2 minutes remaining in this game. Curry with the ball being guarded by Oops, I meant to switch on to Miles Turner. I can't speak. TJ McConnell's in the game along with Tyrese Halliburton, whose jump shot is a really goofy animation, so I'm not sure I want to take that shot. Ooh, I like this mismatch. Anthony Davis, get to the rim. Okay, McConnell on Curry. I do like having McConnell on Curry as opposed to Tyrese Halliburton. Draymond getting the ball right back to Curry. Ooh, the step back. That's a good move. He's not able to finish it, though. Miles Turner with the board. Get it over to Tyrese. We're going to go ahead and set up. What kind of playbook do we have here? I don't even know these plays. I don't know the Lakers playbook. But we're running a pick and roll here. Oh, Miles Turner trying to pop. We got the mismatch with Klay Thompson giving a little drop step move and score the bucket to get up by 5. Uh-oh, Curry. Curry taking it in. Miles Turner with the block, though. Chase down block by Miles Turner. I see Anthony Davis running the floor, getting the slam. This is how you come back from a 3-0 deficit. Curry taking it again, giving a little pump fake out to Draymond. Contested 3. Oh my, he made that. I cannot believe that he made that. My goodness. Okay, just for that, we got to go to Anthony Davis in the post. Get it to him. I don't think Draymond can get... Oh my goodness. All right, foul. We're going to the free throw line. First one is a little bit early, but still getting it to go. Let's see if we can time the second one a little bit. Oh my goodness, that was awful. Oh man, I should just retire from free throws right there. That was abysmal. Curry with the ball. They got to score a 3 or something. They're down by 5. He's doing a little step back thing. Draymond, please do not make another contested 3. Wiggins injured with the ball. Getting the screen. Looking for something. Trace Jackson Davis not able to finish the contested layup. And we're going to send Miles Turner to the free throw line to close this game out. Potentially making the first one right there. Going ahead. Getting the second one up and no, missing it. But that's okay. Okay, where's Curry going? Contested. No way. No way. Give me that rebound. There you go. That's going to be the game. Oh, I think we're timing these free throws. Oh, as I was saying we were timing these free throws better. We were not. Up by 8. Yeah, this one's pretty much over. I think we can safely... I'm nervous about simming to the end, to be honest. Yeah, Draymond's not hitting 2 contested 3s in a row. They're done fouling. This one's over. Tyrese Halliburton, the leading scorer for the game with 31 points. We had Anthony Davis getting 29 and 10. Miles Turner with 20 and 9. Good looking out from all the players on this team. If we go ahead and look at the percentages, 50% from 3. Yeah, that's going to get you the dub. So after avoiding embarrassment in round 1, going on to round 2 to face none other than the Dallas Mavericks, my favorite team in real life. Luka and Kyrie still on the team. In fact, it looks like they have pretty much the exact same roster for the most part. A few new guys whose names I'm not familiar with. Alex Fudge. They got Ron Holland? How did they get Ron Holland? Where did he get drafted? Pick 12? Man, that's a good pickup. They got Ron Holland. All right, there you go. So yeah, Dallas has a really great roster. They still got the two big man duo with Gafford and Lively, interchanging at the center position. So this could be a tough matchup considering we also have our set of bigs. Ended up winning game 1 there, winning game 2. Oh, never mind. This might go the other way. We swept. Let's go. And of course, on the other end of the West bracket, we got the Thunder, who just cakewalk. Easy. They just swept the Nuggets of all teams. The Thunder, of course, still have, their main guys. They got Shea, they got Giddey Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet. They got Andre Drummond off the bench, Grayson Allen. So they got some new role players coming off the bench for this team that are out there ready to contribute. They got Mav fan favorite Dwight Powell on the team. Okay, all right. We'll go ahead and start simulating winning game 1. Ooh, okay. What the heck are we doing? Oh my goodness, we put together a super team. What? We swept the Thunder. I don't believe it. Anthony Davis getting the Western Conference Finals MVP with 28 points, 13 boards, and 4 assists, 2.5 blocks per game. And then we got the Cavs on the other end making it to the finals. So it's Lakers versus Cavaliers. Taking game 1, taking game 2. We're making this look easy, and just as I say that, the Cavs did steal a game. We're going to go ahead and win the championship in 5. Gentlemen's sweep. Anthony Davis, 30 points per game in the finals, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and almost 2 steals and 2 blocks. Let's go ahead and check out these playoff stats for the rest of the team. Halliburton getting 25 points per game, 10 assists. Miles Turner with his 20 points. Austin Reeves with the 19. Luke Kennard with 10. He did get injured, out for the season with a hairline fracture in his finger. I'm really surprised he didn't play through that. I feel like most players in real life will play through a hairline fracture in their finger, but must have been painful enough. Josh Hart with 9 rebounds, 9 points. Yeah, lots of rebounding, lots of blocks, lots of steals, lots of defense, lots of grit and grind, and Lakers winning the NBA Finals. Normally I'd stop things there, but let's just go ahead. Let's see if we can get this team to win back-to-back NBA championships. LeBron, of course, retiring finally as an Indiana Pacer. Okay, we were able to sign Miles Turner back on a 4-year deal, no problem, no one to compete with. We still have the rest of our core locked down for a few years. Anthony Davis for the next 3 years, Tyrese Halliburton the next 4 years. We got Austin Reeves. He's got, is it 1 year left on his contract? And he's got the player option. Okay, all right. Josh Hart, we got him locked down for the next 3 years. Mitchell Robinson, he's on the last year of his deal, so we may look to re-sign him this offseason. TJ McConnell, he's on for the next 3 years. Luke Kennard on for the next 2 years. We have this guy that we drafted, the last pick in the draft, Nikola, not Jokic, but a different player from Serbia here. He's got a nice rating, 75 overall, small forward shooting guard, so we'll keep him on the team. So we still have 5 roster spots open, and I mean, really, we just need some depth at the small forward position. Some wings would be really nice. So Sam Hauser, I mean, he can shoot the ball, so I don't see why we wouldn't sign him to a deal. I don't really want to sign him for a 2-year deal necessarily, but Maybe if we get him on bird years, get a 3-year deal going, why not? Actually, I'm regretting that now. If you look at his stats, he was awful, absolutely awful with Boston last season. So I might actually, I don't know. We'll see. It's not like, these guys are going to get a whole lot of playing time anyways. And oh my goodness, talk about players coming back to the Lakers. Alex Caruso is available. Let's try to sign him to a 3-year deal. Okay, so we signed Sam Hauser, and as it turns out, we actually can't offer Alex Caruso the money we're looking to offer him. So we're going to see if we can sign him to a smaller deal, maybe a 1-year minimum. Would you take that? Maybe? There you go. We can sign Caruso the minimum. I'm all right. Okay, so I was checking contract extensions, and we could re-sign Reeves, so we went ahead and actually did that. We extended him for another 3 years at the same deal that we've been, going with, around $15 million per year. And I came across this, Mitchell Robinson refusing to re-sign. His numbers were definitely a bit down last season compared to the other teams as far as his rebound numbers. So my hunch is that he was not too thrilled with the limited minutes that he was getting, although if you look at the minutes compared to what he's getting on the Knicks, it's pretty comparable. So I'm actually a little bit surprised by that. And then we also have Maxwell Lewis refusing to re-sign. He did not get any playing time at all. Well, he did 1 minute per game, but he didn't. He had the Tony Snell stat line. So we're going to be going ahead and looking to trade those guys. It's unfortunate because I really like Mitchell Robinson with those stocks, you know. So let's just see what we can get in return for him. Okay, we're in the trade finder, and there's actually a couple deals here. One of them, this doesn't even feel fair. I mean, Walker Kessler, with how many years does he have left? We might need to extend him if we trade for him. Yeah, he's only got the 1 year left, and then he'd need to get extended. He's currently 24 years old, but he's an absolute beast. He's going to continue progressing. If you look at his career stats, I mean, he nearly had a double-double in the last season with the Utah Jazz, getting 2 blocks per game, nearly a steal. I don't know why he's shooting threes. I just looked at that, actually. That three-point percentage. What is going on there? And then the other deal we have that is looking pretty interesting, I would say, is this one for Daniel Gafford. Obviously not as young, he's a couple years older. He also has 1 year left, I believe. Yeah, 1 year left. And if you look at his stats, it's pretty comparable. Obviously, I'm a huge Gafford fan, just, you know, being a Mavericks fan. And the last season, the simulated 2024-2025 season, he was getting 9 points, 9 rebounds per game. He got 1.5 blocks. He got a steal. He is a little bit undersized as a center, but I mean, I don't know if y'all saw that dunk on Zubac the other night, but he's good. He's real good. We also have this trade for Zubac himself. He's locked in for the next 3 years. He is a little bit older. Obviously, 28's not that old, but when we're looking at locking down some of these guys long term. Now look, the Lakers 2029 draft pick, we don't care about the draft picks. We're trying to win now. We're just seeing if we can win back-to-back. So I am actually a little bit more inclined to go with the trade here rather than go for the Gafford trade. It just really depends, you know, I don't know if either of these guys, it would suck if we trade for them and then they also don't want to re-sign. Okay, I'm looking closer at the numbers. I know this is a little bit ridiculous, but I'm just looking and seeing the free throw percentage, you know, not so hot for either of these players, I would say, but at least Gafford is able to make 70% of those free throws. He's still getting, you know, roughly 1 to 2 blocks per game, getting the steals, and I'm a sucker for Daniel Gafford, so we're going to go ahead and trade for him instead of trading for Walker Kessler, and then we're going to go ahead and see if we can extend him right away. Oh, that's right. He's not going to be eligible right off the bat, so we're going to have to wait to do that. And then, of course, Maxwell Lewis, we needed to trade him too. And pretty much all these trade offers are for first-round picks, so I guess that's what we're going to end up doing. Truthfully, the Utah Jazz, I don't think they're that good, right? We'll go ahead and take an unprotected Utah Jazz pick. And then looking at the player progression, Anthony Davis is starting to regress. Unfortunately, Miles Turner regressing just a tad, not enough to really make a huge difference. A lot of our guys regressing, and it's honestly to no surprise. So, you know, the roster's aging a little bit, and then some of the young guys, they're not getting the opportunity to step up outside of Tyrese Haliburton because, of course, they're not like the main focus on the team. All right, we simulated a few weeks, and I guess Gafford's refusing to re-sign too. I mean, that's unfortunate. You know, we tried. Maybe we should have kept Mitchell Robinson, kept him around, see if it would work out. But we didn't. So we're going to have to face the consequences there. He will be available to trade, I believe, by December 22nd. So we'll simulate to that point in the season, see what we can get for him if we can get a comparable player. And I do assume Walker Kessler would have been the same. And my assumption is that they believe that they can be a starter on a team elsewhere. And they are more than likely right. So there you go. Daniel Gafford is fed up, ruining this team chemistry. And Sam Hauser, who we just signed, is also mad for reasons unknown, really. Why is Sam Hauser mad? Sam Hauser should be happy we even considered signing him to a 3-year contract. But you know what? Since these guys are both upset and I don't like ruining the team chemistry, we're going to go ahead and trade both of them. We don't need Sam Hauser on this roster. Let's see what kind of options. It looks like we're going to go Zubac. I mean, it really looks like we're going to trade for him. Okay, actually, we can't trade Sam Hauser until January 25th, but you know what? We signed him to a pretty low contract. Honestly, we could probably get away with just releasing him if we didn't want him to stick around on the roster. So this deal came up in the trade finder, and obviously Rudy Gobert, you know, look, I would have much rather had Mitchell Robinson through this whole ordeal. Actually, you know what? Could we trade back for Mitchell Robinson? He still has not signed an extension with the Mavs, and his relations are frustrated because we traded him to a team where he's still a backup center. So He's not too excited. I don't know that we really want to bring him back. We definitely could. I mean, look, I want to keep TJ McConnell, though, so I'm not excited about trading for PJ Washington here. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to trade Gafford and Jordan McLaughlin because we already have TJ McConnell as the backup point guard. Trade him for Zubac and a second-round pick. Zubac, who's on the Cavs right now. We're going to go ahead and get this deal to go through, and then we're going to simulate to the end of January and get rid of that other guy that's been causing issues for our team chemistry. Okay, Sam Hauser's still mad. He's the only one on this team that's mad, so he's off the team. That's where he's going, off the team. What do we got here? We could bring Terrence Mann back. Not really interested in doing that. Okay, TJ Warren hasn't been playing so great either, so we're just going to try to package him and Sam Hauser, because Sam Hauser deals, there's no good Sam Hauser deals, honestly. They just don't exist. And actually packaging these two together, not much better. We could get Dante Exum. That's actually not too bad. Oh, hold up. We got some solid players coming up now. Cason Wallace, Isaiah Jackson. Those are some good players right there. Something else I want to comment on real quick. Since we made that trade for Zubac, we had one roster spot open, and the CPU signed Dennis Smith Jr., who's actually been playing like a stud so far. So shout out to Dennis Smith Jr., former Dallas Maverick. Okay, I actually looked at the stats of everyone here. Keon Ellis, Dante Exum, and y'all don't want to see some of these percentages. Under 30% from three for Keon Ellis. That's pretty surprising. Under 25% from three for Bruce Brown. Peyton Watson under 30% from look, I know three-point shooting isn't everything, but my goodness, that's kind of what we're looking for here with some of these guys. Osman 21% from three, Blake Wesley 20% from three. Like, he wasn't even on a roster last year, and then he came back or maybe he was on the roster. I don't know. He just didn't get playing time for some reason, probably because he was so bad. Honestly, I'm about to sign for Isaiah Jackson and Wendell Moore and just see if we could flip them, except we gotta give up this draft pick. Are you kidding me? And if we look at just the Sam Hauser deals again, let's just flip through these. Vince Williams Jr., how's he doing? Not so hot. Okay, we're gonna do the move of just trading for the highest rated player if we can get this draft pick out of here. We don't want to include that draft pick. Oh my, what are we doing now? Who is this? No, I don't want to do that trade. Okay, you know what? I already said we don't care about draft picks anyways. It's lottery protected. We're fine. We'll get rid of that pick, and then we're going to turn around. We don't need all these centers. And yeah, I'm turning the recently traded restriction off, since 3, 4, 5 team trades are kind of hard to come by. We're trying to flip these guys. So who did we take in with Isaiah Jackson? I believe, yes, it was Wendell Moore Jr. That's fine. 24 years old. I like it. He can stay on. Isaiah Jackson, however, you're going elsewhere. And there you go. We found a somewhat decent deal. I'm trying to see if Patrick Williams is good, is in a good space, is he frustrated? Like, is he looking for a contract extension? What is the situation? He only has the 1 year left on his contract. His morale is currently bad, apparently. We're just gonna go for it. We're gonna go for this deal. He's playing very well, so we're gonna make that trade. We're gonna see if we can extend him right now, and as it turns out, he is... Where is he at? He's not eligible. It says relations, he's fine, so great. He's fine. He's good to go. He's going to fit right in with this rotation. Turns out Tyrese Halliburton is injured yet again, so he'll fill in at the 1 when he gets back. And then after that, we got Austin Reeves at the 2, Josh Hart at the 3, Anthony Davis, Miles Turner, Zubac, and Patrick Williams off the bench. That's a good bench to have. Again, as I said, it looks like Patrick Williams is doing a whole lot better than he was doing in real life recently. You look at that three-point percentage, and you look at the numbers here. Rebounds are not so great, but that's fine. He's still scoring. He's just not getting as many minutes, but he'll get the minutes here. No problem at all. We got TJ McConnell, Luke Kennard getting off the bench. We got some other guys, Caruso and Javonte Green if needed. Luka wins another MVP Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year with the Utah Jazz. Donovan Clingan is the 6th Man of the Year as a 2-year player with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Wemby Defensive Player of the Year. James Wiseman, Most Improved. He's getting a double-double. Okay. All right, James Wiseman. We got Cade Cunningham, Coach Player of the Year. Thunder getting that Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year once again. Do we get any awards? Tyrese Halliburton's getting on the All-NBA second team. And no honors, All-NBA honors that is, for Anthony Davis. We look at the defensive teams. Anthony Davis getting on the All-Defensive second team. It's another 55-win season in the books. Another 2-seed finish in the West. The Thunder Thunder once again, the 1 seed with 61 wins. And in the East, we got the Cavs leading the way with 57 wins. And every team below that is under 50 wins in the East. But meanwhile, the West, of course, stacked. The top 6 teams with 50+ wins. I mean, it's insane. Insane how good the West is compared to the East. We look at the stats. Tyrese Halliburton with 27 points per game, nearly 10 assists. You got Anthony Davis with the double-double, 20 points, 10 boards. You got Austin Reeves contributing, Miles Turner. Zubac, the stats are a little bit skewed because he got traded halfway through the season. Dennis Smith Jr. on this minimum contract is really showing up here. And then Patrick Williams, stats also a little bit skewed. It looks like his shooting numbers might have gone down a little bit from 2, but gone up from 3. All in all, like in the team, TJ McConnell's now 34 years old, but still contributing as a veteran player. We got our rookie from Serbia doing his numbers, getting his buckets. And the first round matchup is none other than the Denver Nuggets, who have Peyton Pritchard starting at the 1. They no longer have Jamal Murray. They still got Nikola Jokic, and the rest of the 3 of the 5 starters from the current day Nuggets. They got Cam Thomas. So starting to simulate this, win game 1, win game 2. Come on, let's get that sweep. And that, okay, sweep's not happening. Looks like the home team has won every game so far going into game 6. We're going to win this one 4-2. And it looks like we're going to play the winner of a 7-game series is the Warriors once again. The scary Golden State Warriors that almost knocked us out in the first round last year, came back from that 0-3 deficit. It looks like they lost a lot of the players that they used to have. They brought Chris Paul back, but no Klay Thompson. He's retired, I believe. No Draymond. So we got Curry and Wiggins and Kuminga still, and Brandon. And then we got Garuba. We got Bobby Portis. We got Miles Bridges on the team. Luke Cornett, Romeo Langford. So quite the roster they've put together here. And they're going to win game 1. Lakers taking game 2, taking game 3. All right. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Winning game 5 and going on in 6 games. Right now, the Thunder struggling in their series against the Trailblazers. But they're going to go ahead and make the comeback. And it's the same Western Conference Finals as the previous season. The Thunder, who they're the ones that got Jamal Murray. So now they got Jamal Murray and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as their starting guards. They got Ace Bailey. Oh man, how did the Thunder... Oh yeah, that's right. They have all that draft capital. Of course they got Ace Bailey. They got Lou Dort, Chet, Grayson Allen still on the team. Andre Drummond still on the team. They signed Kevin Porter Jr. All right. Yeah, they got a stacked roster as is usual. So it's going to be a tough series. You know, probably not going to get the sweep like last season. Sure enough, so far the home team has won every game. It's going into a game 7 at OKC. The Thunder taking a big early lead. If the game is close in the 4th quarter, we will jump in and play into the 4th quarter now, down by 12 points, and the Thunder are not, yeah, there's no way. There's no sign of a comeback here. Gonna end up losing this one by 20+ points. Shai is the Western Conference Finals MVP. So we failed to get the back-to-back championships, but nonetheless still made it to 7 games in the Western Conference Finals. That's a pretty good accomplishment right there. And the Thunder are going to go ahead and win the NBA Finals in 7 games. Shai getting the Finals MVP. So we're going to end the rebuild there. Obviously, we could keep going, but I like where we left things. You know, we tried to go back-to-back. Failed. That's fine. We could keep going, but we're going to stop it here. If you're interested in more rebuilds such as this one, go ahead and check out the video on your screen now. It's a Warriors rebuild in which we cleared the way to bring LeBron James onto the team, pairing him with Steph Curry.